Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Friday, September 15th, 2023. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We open today with news involving both AEW and WWE. It's being reported that Jade Cargill may officially be done with AEW as of last Wednesday's TV tapings and is expected to be headed to WWE. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful reported late Wednesday night that Cargill's match with TBS champion Chris Statlander, scheduled to air tonight on Rampage, would be her final appearance for AEW. The report cited sources within both companies strongly indicating that the reason for her sudden departure is that she is signing with WWE. PW Insider has reported that Cargill's AEW contract expired this week. There's no word on the specifics of what WWE's offer may have been, other than that the situation seems to be unfolding quickly. Cargill has been with AEW since November of 2020. She attended a WWE tryout camp in April of 2019, but was not signed at that time. Ring of Honor streamed last night on Honor Club, featuring matches taped last Saturday night in Cleveland. ROH World Champion Claudio Castagnoli made his 10th successful defense of the title, defeating Rocky Romero. AAA Latin American Champion QT Marshall was also in action with a win over Metalik. Former ROH World Women's Champion Mercedes Martinez made her return to Ring of Honor for the first time in 3 months, defeating Zoe Lynn. In other women's wrestling action, Willow Nightingale scored a victory over Lady Frost. The main event of the show saw AR Fox defeat Tony Nese. And in other selected results, Shane Taylor beat Lee Johnson, Ethan Page defeated Griff Garrison, and Darius Martin topped Christopher Daniels. In ratings news, AEW Dynamite drew an audience of 888,000 to TBS last Wednesday night, even with last week's 887,000 according to WrestleNomics. The rating came in first place on cable TV for the night in the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic with a key demo rating of .31, representing 402,000 viewers. That's also even with last week's key demo rating. Impact Wrestling aired its 1,000th episode last night on Access TV, featuring matches taped September 9th in White Plains, New York. The main event saw Chris Sabin regain the X Division Championship from Leo Rush, marking Sabin's record-breaking 10th run with the title.
Oh, the Tanaka punch!
And then wait, what's this?
Shell shock!
Shades of Time Machine!
Up onto the shoulders! Cradle shock!
Is this it? History has been made!
Number 10! Number 10!
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, and new X Division Champion, Chris Sabin!
Chris Sabin, the undisputed king of the X Division!
Impact 1000 also saw Team 3D reunite for the first time in 7 years as Bully Ray and Devon defeated the Desi Hit Squad of Champagne Singh and Rohit Raju.
Somewhere Dixie Carter is having a heart attack watching this. Look out! Through the table! Team 3D reigns supreme on the 1000th episode of Impact Wrestling!
Also returning to Impact TV was Mickie James, as well as the Beautiful People tandem of Velvet Sky and Angelina Love. All three women took part in an extended in-ring promo segment involving many female talent, past and present, including current Knockouts champion Trinity. James declared her allegiance to what she described as Team Trinity, including the Knockouts champ, as well as Awesome Kong, Jordan Grace, and Gail Kim. The segment interrupted comments from Impact President Scott D'Amore, who welcomed fans to the 1000th episode. In other results, Frankie Kazarian joined with Tracy Brooks in Brooks' first match in 11 years to defeat Alicia and Eddie Edwards in a mixed tag match, and Chris Bay, Crazy Steve, Moose, and Yuya Uemura won a 20-man Feast or Fired match. Turning to the 2023 Pro Wrestling Illustrated 500, the top 10 wrestlers in the 33rd annual PWI 500 ranking was revealed yesterday morning on Busted Open Radio, with WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins topping the list at number 1. This is Rollins' third number one ranking, tying the record set by John Cena. The three former members of The Shield make up the top three picks on the list, with WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns coming in at number 2 and AEW International Champion Jon Moxley coming in at number 3. Rounding out the rest of the top 10 are, in order, WWE Intercontinental Champion Gunther, AAA Mega Champion El Hijo del Vikingo, AEW World Champion MJF, Kazuchika Okada, Orange Cassidy, Josh Alexander, and Cody Rhodes. The PWI 500 has been put together every year since 1991 by the editors and contributors of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. The rankings are based on a variety of criteria, including win-loss record, titles won, quality of opposition, major feuds, prominence within a wrestler's promotion, and overall wrestling ability, as well as level of activity within the evaluation period, which for this year's edition stretched from July 2022 through July of 2023. The full PWI 500 list will be included in the December issue of Pro Wrestling Illustrated, which goes on sale later this month. In the interest of transparency, we note that the Wrestling News' news editor, Brian Solomon, is a contributor of PWI and a member of the PWI 500 Evaluation Committee. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the Wrestling News 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.